the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, NSFAS, will allow unfunded students registered at public universities to apply for funding in a special application window that begins today. Universities have been urged to furnish NSFAS with an exhaustive list of registered students who are currently studying in the 2021 academic cycle. It's unclear how many will indeed benefit or how much has been set aside for this new application window. Let's perhaps try and get you that clarity. We're joined now by NSFAS spokesperson Kagisho Mamabolo via our video link. Kagisho, thanks very much for your time this morning. Is this a first for NSFAS to try and get funding for students who are in fact in the middle of an academic year?
Good morning, and absolutely correct. This is the first in the history of NSFAS that before we actually complete an academic year, we then give students the last chance. I think it's one of the greatest initiative by the new NSFAS board, which started in January. In fact, just to give you an idea, this new board, led by NSFAS, has actually done more than 8 policy reviews since they came into office. And at the heart of that was this group of students who registered at the beginning of the year. And now universities and student leaders have informed NSFAS that these students seemingly, they don't have money and they seem to qualify for NSFAS. And the board deliberated on that and looked at available resources and look at the demand in the sector, and also taking into consideration the impact of COVID-19 and the financial circumstances of many families which have changed. And they agreed that is indeed progressive to give students a last chance.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's incredible. The application window begins today. How much money has NSFAS set aside for this particular application window?
Thank you very much. I think one of the advantageous things about NSFAS model is that you are able to quantify the number of students available, and therefore, based on that process, we can submit to government and say this application window will cost government maybe 2 billion or 1 billion, and government will then make funds available. So as we speak, we haven't quantified the amount yet because we don't know how many students will actually come forward. But what we have done, we asked all the 26 universities to manage this process, identify the student, compile a list with their ID numbers and contact details and give it to us. And from today, we will be sending messages to those students whose names appear on the list to then go on our portal and submit the application.
So which students are eligible in terms of, shall we say, performance? Is that going to be part of the criteria for how these decisions are made around who gets funding?
One of the greatest criteria that is not there for other NSFAS applicants is that you have to be a registered student. You know, so to qualify for this 2-week window, you have to be a registered student. And the other condition is that you should not be a holder of any other bursary.
Oh, I see.
Those are the 2 main conditions. And the rest is then NSFAS normal terms and conditions, which includes your income, household or family combined to be below 350,000 per annum. And then if you are a student living with disabilities, the income should be just below 600,000. And of course, we will look at academic progression. In fact, NSFAS rule says, in order for funding to be effected, you need to at least be progressing academically past a minimum of 50% of your enrolled modules.
Okay. So it's a window that's open for the next 2 weeks. Is that correct, Kagisho?
Yes, the window starts today and it closes on the 3rd of September. And I think we must make a distinction to the public that this window is not for everyone. It's not a window for 2022.
Right.
This is just a window for the currently enrolled students that don't have funding but may be qualifying for NSFAS. The window for 2022 will be announced after we close these 2 weeks and then we send results to this current 2 weeks. We must also say, should you not succeed in this 2 weeks window for NSFAS, you are also welcome to apply again when the 2022 window reopens.
Kagisho Mamabolo, NSFAS spokesperson, thanks very much for your time this morning on the AM report. 2-week window open for funding for registered students. It starts today. It's for the next 2 weeks. It's not yet for the 2022 academic year. That is yet to be announced. Some of the criteria: you must be a registered student, you should not hold any other bursary, and your household income per annum should be below 350,000 Rand per year. Academic performance should be at least at 50%. That's a great story for students who are struggling through this financial year.